Lifetime Achievement Award to one and only Zeenat Aman.
The 70s heartthrob Zeenat Aman is coming to Durban in Heart to Heart Scorpion Design Lifetime Achievement Award, a unique talk show with Zeenat Aman herself.
I think I had some of the best songs.
एक कन्याकुमारी हमरी सूरत पे मर गए हाय हाय हाय.
Was it advantageous for you that you were very fluent in English at the same time and were very familiar with Western culture?
No, why would it be easy? Hindi cinema doesn't call for English, you have to speak in Hindi.
But in terms of interacting with media overseas and having international relations at the time?
No. You have a lot of the media that speaks Marathi and Hindi and Urdu. And sometimes it was difficult because mera lehja bilkul saaf nahi tha. Yeah.
You went on to work with legendary actors like Amitabh Bachchan, Rajesh Khanna, Dev Anand, and so many more at a very young age. How was that experience?
Yeah, it was wonderful. It was wonderful. Because after Hare Rama Hare Krishna, a lot of my films did very well, like Dawn, Yadungi Barat, Lavaris, Kurbani, and subsequently, I think I worked for over 15 years non-stop, and about 80 movies as the main female protagonist. So, yeah, it was good.
Well, Zeenatji, you've gone through very trying times. What is that one thing that's kept you motivated all these years?
Fashion, it's like this. There's never always a good time or always a bad time. There are ups and downs, and you have to deal with everything as it comes. Just as much as you enjoy the good time, you have to accept the bad time and go with the flow and never lose faith in yourself.
I know as well that you're someone who doesn't like to reflect too much on the past, isn't it?
Never. I always look ahead.
You're a person of now times, obviously. Well, I'm going to force you to look back into the past now. I think we have a clip from your first ever movie. This was Halchal, right?
You have a clip from Halchal?
We have a clip from Halchal, yes?
Shashika, I'm going to kill her. She's full of surprises.
Yes, Shashika has been doing a lot of research for this, and we're going to be watching this on the AV right now.
Listen,
yes,
I just want to give a big shout out to Shashika. The reason why I'm here with all of you this evening is because of Shashika, and I do wish her all the very best with her new album, Heart to Heart, and I hope all of you guys go out and get it and listen to it and tell your friends to listen to it, because she's a wonderful girl and a wonderful singer. So, there you go.
And these CDs are on sale at the venue for 150 Rand. Right, so can we have that clip of Halchal, please? There we go.
Hello, Lina.
Hello. Congratulations, Mr. Mahesh.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
आपको भी शादी की सालगिरह मुबारक हो। हमने तो किसी से नहीं कहा था, आपको कैसे पता चल गया? जी? ओहो, मैं भी कितनी पागल हूँ। आप दोनों का तो दिन रात का साथ है, भला आपको कैसे नहीं पता चलेगा? क्यों लक्ष्मी?
लीना, ये है मिसेस शेखर, इनकी बहन। इनको तो तुम जानती हो। कमल, sit down. बैठिए।
नहीं, आप बैठिए। मैं उधर बैठती हूँ और लोग भी आने वाले हैं। अच्छा, नमस्ते।
First ever movie, Halchal, ladies and gentlemen.
We shot that 47 years ago, would you believe it?
Can you believe it? 47 years ago, and still as radiant
Most
today.
people in the audience were not born at that time.
I was wondering, were you actually a bit shy to watch yourself on screen?
You mean right now?
Particularly for this clip from Halchal, because this was so many years ago, no?
Am I embarrassed? No, I'm not embarrassed.
Shy. Were you shy to watch it like, all over again?
No, it was just difficult for my neck to turn 360 degrees.
Let's get on now to the that very important label that you got to experience very early in your career, which was the sex symbol tag. Did you ever feel pressurized about carrying it?
You see what... let me tell you something. Indian cinema at that time was defined by the heroine and the vamp. The heroine wore saris, sometimes bouffant hairstyles, and she cried a lot. She was very good. And then you had the vamp, who wore the low-cut dresses with the décolletage, and who smoked these cigarettes and these long cigarette holders and did the cabaret dances, right? And the audiences liked the character, and they accepted me. And in most of the films that I did, I played those kinds of parts initially, whether it was in Roti Kapda Makan, she's the girl who leaves the poor guy for the rich guy, but then she dies, she gives her life for the poor guy. You know, so there were all these parts. And the audiences liked those characters, and I went on to smile all the way to the bank with that.
Very honestly said. What about all the adoration from fans all over the world that you would have obviously received back then? I'm sure there was a lot of flattering attention everywhere you went. How did you handle all of this?
Well, like with anybody who's successful in their craft, I don't think you really realize the impact of that when you're in the middle of it. It's only when you move yourself away from it that then you realize that, oh my gosh, you know, this is what happened. So, yeah. In retrospect, it's very nice.
Did you ever receive any proposals from any male fans?
Sure.
What did you say?
No.
Okay, Zeenat, we're going to take a bit of a break from the heart-to-heart chat, and I know Shashika has something very special to perform for us now, live. And this is one of my all-time favorite songs featuring Zeenat Aman. Chura Liya Hai Tumne. Any special memories of shooting this song?
Absolutely.
Can you share that with us, please?
Nasir Hussain was doing this film. We shot a scene in a very tight pink shalwar kameez, which I looked very uncomfortable in. So I requested him for a change. And if you ever see the scene before the song, they're two completely different outfits. And we you know how cinema is an audiovisual medium, so it's important to look reasonable. So then we wore the white outfit. And the song, of course, is alive till today. So I'm grateful for that. Yeah. Ari Barman, Asha Bhosle, way to go.
And here we have Shashika Mooruth doing a live rendition of it tonight.
We should give Zeenat a guitar. चुरा लिया है तुमने जो दिल को नजर नहीं चुराना सनम बदल के मेरी तुम जिंदगानी कहीं बदल ना जाना सनम ले लिया दिल हाय मेरा दिल हाय दिल लेकर मुझको ना बहलाना चुरा लिया है तुमने जो दिल को नजर नहीं चुराना सनम बदल के मेरी तुम जिंदगानी कहीं बदल ना जाना सनम बाहर बन गया कभी तुम्हारी दुनिया में गुजर न जाए दिन कहीं से तमन्ना में बाहर बन गया कभी
used to romance with these songs. We were little kids and we didn't have cell phones, so we used to romance on the silent. My mom is here and I have to tell honestly, Mommy, yes, what to do with Zeenat ma'am on the screen with such a beautiful song. I not only sang it on stage in childhood, but I romanced. Shh, oof. Thank you.
Thank you, Shashika. That was such a beautiful rendition.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
May we have a nice round of applause, Shashika. Shashika Mooruth. We'll be back with some more Zeenat Aman hit songs in a bit. But right now, Zeenat ji, we have another very special clip of a movie of yours. And this path breaking for the 1980s, particularly for you, because it was a breakthrough in terms of the roles that we're used to seeing you on screen in, which was the essential roles of the late 1970s and so on. And the movie is Insaaf Ki Tarazu, which won you a lot of dramatic acclaim back then. So I know that you're going to have a difficult time, trying to watch it on the screen. So I'm going to ask that we stand here so we can all have a nice look at this really, really amazing scene of Zeenat Aman, probably one of the greatest performances in her career, in Insaaf Ki Tarazu.
अपना फर्ज पूरा करने के लिए आपको तो ढेर सारे रुपए मिले, नाम मिला, पर इस बेगुनाह को क्या मिला? समाज को क्या मिला? इंसानियत को क्या मिला? क्या इनके लिए आपका कोई फर्ज नहीं? आपने कभी सोचा है वकील साहब, कुछ रुपयों के लिए आप जिन शैतानों की रक्षा कर रहे हैं, वो एक दिन आपके बच्चों को भी खा सकते हैं? कभी सोचा है कि इसकी जगह आपकी बेटी भी हो सकती थी? जो इसके साथ हुआ है, उसके साथ भी हो सकता था। देखिए, इसकी तरफ देखिए। आपने रमेश गुप्ता को बचाकर जो फर्ज पूरा किया था, उसका अंजाम देखिए। इसके होंठों से सारी मुस्कुराहट नोचकर इतनी सिसकियां भर दी गई हैं, जो कभी कम नहीं होंगी। इतने ढेर सारे आंसू दे दिए गए हैं कि डूबने के लिए समुद्र ढूंढने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी। इसके जिम्मेदार आप हैं वकील साहब, और आप भी जज साहब।
Ladies and gentlemen, a brilliant performance there by Zeenat Aman. Zeenat, before we take our seats again, I want to ask you, special memories of shooting for this movie, which was so path-breaking in its time, Insaaf Ki Tarazu?
B.R. Chopra Sahab was the older brother of Yash Chopra. And he was a very reputed filmmaker of his time. And we were quite new in the business. Of course, I'd done a film with him before called Dhund. And what was very interesting, that he was an acclaimed filmmaker, but he wanted us to participate when he was editing his film, because it was a particularly sensitive subject based on rape. And he called, especially me, in for both the rape sequences and wanted my take on how it should be edited and how it should be presented. And I was really touched when he did accept some of my decisions. So that really stands out for me.
And now we have another scene. This is why I've requested that both of us remain standing for this. Our next scene is something that I particularly asked Shashika to keep onto this segment of the show. A truly, truly outrageously dramatic scene. This is from a movie that's directed by Raj Kapoor, released in the early 1970s. The movie is Satyam Shivam Sundaram. We'll talk with Zeenat ji a little more about it. Late 1970s.
ये बच्चा आप ही का है, ये बच्चा आप ही का है। मैं भगवान के सौगंध खा के कहती हूँ, ये आप ही का बच्चा है। मैं सच कह रही हूँ।
बहुत बर्दाश्त कर लिया मैंने। किसी और की गंदगी नहीं निकल सकता मैं, समझी?
So you guys remember this movie, right? Satyam Shivam Sundaram? Zeenat ji, something very unique about this movie, Satyam Shivam Sundaram, is that apparently, a hearsay, is that it didn't do as well as expected at the box office at the time?
You know, there is, जैसे हिंदी में कहते हैं गलत फहमी है इसके बारे में. Somebody who used to keep track of all the trade reports and trade results at the time was one of our favorite actors, Jitinder, Jitu Ji. So he was the one who pointed out that even though people say it didn't do well, that's a fallacy because it did very well. It wasn't a blockbuster like most of Raji's films are expected to be, but it did do well. Nobody lost money, everybody made money, and it had some amazing music.
It did. Coincidentally, the movie was very popular and remains very popular in South Africa even till today, right? All right, so Zeenat ji, tomorrow is Mother's Day. It's a family show. I wanted to ask you a question about your family, if you didn't mind. And you had sacrificed your glory days of Indian cinema to become a wife and to become a mother?
Absolutely. I was absolutely ready to be a mom, you know, when my first son was born. As soon as I had him, I really just stopped working. It was after 15 years of non-stop work that I just wanted to be with him. And it's been a wonderful journey with both my boys ever since then, yeah.
So they are Azan and Zahan, right?
Oh, perfect, yes.
Can you describe your relationship with them to us?
Well, they lost their dad, too, when they were quite young. So there's the three of us, and we're very close, and we're very tight. And yeah, we're close. We're good friends, yeah.
What for you is the definition of a good mother?
Well, my mother, she led by example. She was, I also lost my father when I was very young. So she was an exemplary mom. She was there for me 100%, very supportive, very giving, sacrificed a great deal. So that was my role model. And I tended to subconsciously just fall into that pattern with my boys because they came before everything else. And they still do.
Wow. Well, interestingly, you mentioned your dad. I don't think many people actually know that your dad was in the movie industry and he had written, one of the great films that he had written was Pakiza, right?
And Mughal-e-Azam.
Mughal-e-Azam, yes.
Yes. You know the voice that you hear, the voice at the beginning of the film with the map of India? That's him. And at the end of the movie, that's his voice. He wrote, yeah.
Now you know, right? You didn't know that before?
Yeah. He wrote the screenplay with K. Asif as well of Mughal-e-Azam. He was co-writer for the screenplay, and he wrote the dialogues. I mean, he's a wonderful poet and a wonderful writer in Urdu, and he would have been horrified to know that his daughter gave her first screen test in English. So that was a dichotomy, so to speak.
Zeenat ji, Layla O Layla, this popular song, I think we're going to have a live performance of it now. Let's talk about your memories of this song.
Feroz Khan was a great showman, and he loved making films, and he loved putting his best foot forward. I had the opportunity of working with some great filmmakers, whether it was Raji and Dev Saab with his enthusiasm, and a lot of actor-directors. Shami Kapoor's first film, Manoranjan, that he directed, O.P. Ralhan, you know, a lot. Amjad Khan, Parveen Babi opted out of that film for health reasons, so he came to me. So a lot of actor-directors I worked with. And Feroz was one of the best. Really, he also was dedicated, loved music, had great music in his films, and yeah, it was great.
Do you remember the moves now?
Are you kidding me? No, I'm not going to get up and dance now.
Are you going to get up and dance to Layla O Layla? Hey, come on. So, all right, so this is going to be a little game that we're going to play right now. And we do, okay. No, I see we don't have it right now, so perhaps we'll get to that a bit later on. What we'll do right now is allow our audience the opportunity to ask Zeenat ji questions. Are you open to that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I mean, I'm so happy to be here in your city, to be here in Durban. It's, you know, the people here are so amazing, and your beach is so gorgeous, and I'm just loving it. Yeah, I'd love to be able to interact with you on a one-to-one.
Okay, so I think it's open mic now.
We have the lights so we can see the people.
So can we have the house light? There we go.
So we can get the mic to you.
All right, now we can have a good look at everybody in the audience
You have a
today.
question?
And Shashika is going around with the mic.
Hi, Zeenat.
Hi, good evening.
Good. My name is Paul.
Hi, Paul.
I'm from Newcastle. You've made a big impression on myself and people throughout the world. From a young person during the 70s and 80s, we had an impression of you. So, for example, you were sensual in Roti Kapra Makan, the most famous song,
Hi,
Ada
Hi, Majboori.
And then you were the first super woman in Dawn. You were trying to be, to take revenge on your...
Action woman.
An action woman, yes, for your brother's death.
Uh-huh.
But you fell in love with Amitabh Bachchan. And that continued in Dawn. Sorry, in The Great Gambler.
Uh-huh.
And
Wow, he knows his movies.
yeah. But then, the most iconic movie I felt was when you were very vulnerable in Satyam Sivan Sundaram, because that showed you a real person. Now, the question I ask is that although you spoke about the craft that a person has, I want to know, what is your favorite movies and who the real Zeenat Aman is?
Oh, wow, that's that's a loaded question. First of all, Paul, I'm very impressed with your knowledge of, purane filmon ki. But see, for me, very honestly, it was a journey. I journeyed from girlhood to womanhood in the business. And as I went along, I was learning my craft as well. The real Zeenat Aman in those years was just a girl who got up in the morning and went to the studios, worked all day, listened to her director, and came home in the evening, showered and went to bed. And got up the next morning, much as your sports people do. They play all the time. They play their game all the time, day after day after day, either they're rehearsing or performing. It was the same. I think I spent 15 years like that. And when people say, did you enjoy your success? I didn't know much about it because I was just so busy working. I was just busy working around the clock. So that's really what Zeenat Aman was all about at the time. And it's only, in later years that when I realized that, yes, people liked my work, people appreciated my work, that I was so grateful for having had the opportunity to have done all this.
It's a pleasure knowing you and being part of our lives.
Thank you. Thank you for verbalizing that. I appreciate it.
Vash, I have a question to your right.
Okay. Can we have the question, please?
Welcome to our beautiful country, isn't it? Hello.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Where?
May God bless you.
Where?
Can you stand here? Thank you.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Were you on the aircraft yesterday?
No.
Oh, sorry. Okay. There was somebody else who came to me and said, hi, my wife all her life, she's been, people say she's like Zeenat Aman, and now we're going to see you at the show. So I was just wondering if that was you.
Well, I'm a musician here in this country with the famous band Sounds Oriental, and we really enjoyed you beautifully with Rajesh Khanna, who we miss really, really badly, and with Amitabh Bachchan. And with this experience, we can foresee that you were a very, very, very great actress, and we applaud you for that.
Thank you.
Welcome to this country. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Thank you. Thank you.
We have our next question from straight up here.
Hi, ma'am. No question, but this one is for you. खूबसूरत बात ये चार पल का साथ ये सारी उम्र हूँ. I'm so nervous about the words.
Come on, let's clap along with it.
अजनबी हसीना से यूं मुलाकात हो गई, फिर क्या हुआ ये ना सोचो, फिर ऐसी बात हो गई. Thank you.
Thank
I will
you.
treasure this moment all my life.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Do you have another question?
Oh, did playing Rupa change me in any way? First and foremost, I had the opportunity of working with the greatest showman in Indian cinema, Raj Kapoor. Secondly, by that time, I had been established as a star with a very Western image. Even he really contemplated before he signed me for the film. And after he signed me for the film, he did a show reel, which is still in the archives of RK Studios. And it was exquisite. What he shot was absolutely exquisite. He shot it on an old song picturized on Nargis Ji, Jago Mohan Pyare. And the distributors loved it, and his film was sold completely on the table. Yes, it was challenging for me, because I had never done a role like that, and nor did I ever expect to do a role like that again. And there were many aspects of the film that were challenging, whether it was the clothing that Rupa wore, whether it was her chal, chalan, therav. It was challenging, it was different, and I'm very grateful for the experience. Thank you.
We do have another question, right?
I have one right here.
All right, this is all the way up there.
Namaste, Zeenat ji.
Where is he? Oh, okay. Namaskar ji.
Welcome to South Africa, Durban.
Thank you.
And I don't have any question, but I just want to make a comment. My favorite movie of yours was The Great Gambler. The favorite part was the song that was sung on the boat. I don't know if anyone remember that part.
And Do Lapso Ki Hai.
That's the song. And I would like Shashika Mooruth to sing that song tonight. It's a request. I love the song.
Why not?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I have to tell you that a lot of couples have gone on their honeymoon to Venice and sat in the gondola, and subsequently I think that song has somewhat added to the Indian population.
Oh, you know what? You actually broke
Well
the surprise,
said.
for my wife and I. Thank you.
Okay, we have another question, which is straight up here.
Hello.
Sure, can you stand, please?
Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening.
Zeenat Aman, you acted with stars like Devanand, Shashi Kapoor, Manoj. I hope this is not a difficult question for you. Amongst your co-stars, who do you think you enjoyed working with most?
You know, like I'd said earlier, I'm very grateful to have had the opportunity to work with people who were on top of their game at the time that I worked with them. They were so good at what they were doing. But I have to say that it is because of Dev Sahab and Navketan that I got the opportunities that I did. Hare Rama Hare Krishna was a film where I was accepted by the audiences, and then Devanand wrote a part for me in Hirapanna. He couldn't, after I had played his sister, write a romantic role opposite himself. But he gave me the title role of Panna while he played Hira. And I was, again, the bad girl who was the sister of his beloved, which was played by Rakhi. So he actually wrote scripts around my character. And then he finally cast me in Ishq Ishq Ishq, which was also a Navketan project. And by then, other producers had signed us together. So I'm very grateful to Dev Sahab. It is because of him that I had a career in Indian cinema, for sure.
Thank you very much.
Do we have any more questions from the audience? Okay, we have one in the front row, but let's go with the gentleman at the back first.
Okay, welcome to South Africa, Zeenat Aman.
Thank
I must
you.
tell you, my family was very excited that you're coming down. And I just want to know, now that you are in South Africa, have you had the opportunity of having a mutton bunny at Coconut Grove?
It's a mutton bunny. It's a bunny chow. It's typical Indian Durban food.
Make
which
sure
is made
Clive
with
takes-
half a loaf of bread and curry pot in it. So it's like staple Durban food. So he wants to know
No.
if you've eaten that.
I will try it tomorrow, I promise you.
Okay, when you go to Coconut Grove, you tell Uncle Bob I must not charge you. I will prepay for it.
It's paid for already.
Well, thank you.
Can you sponsor all of us?
Why not?
She's a vegetarian.
Okay, do we have a question from the front row?
I go back to...
Yeah, please go ahead.
Good evening, Begum Zeenat Aman. It's a bit strange for me to say your surname, as it just happens to be my first name. So I feel like I'm almost addressing myself. On behalf of all your adoring male fans who were born in the 70s, I welcome you to the sun-kissed shores of Durban. We thank you from the deepest recesses of our heart for the gutsy roles you played in Indian cinema, including the high-flying career woman who contemplated abortion in Ajnabi, leaving the poor man to chase after the rich one in Roti Kapta or Makan, or sexily strumming your guitar in Yado Ki Barat, the hippie sister in Hare Krishna Hare Rama, or the rape survivor in Insaf Ka Tarazu, and the Femme Fatale who had an axe to grind in Dawn. Along with Parveen Babi and yourself, and I do apologize for reinforcing this constant comparison between the two of you, my idea of the ultimate physical beauty in a woman dovetailed towards this giddy mix of Western and Eastern features that both of you simply had oodles of. Added to this, the two of you are probably the only Indian actresses in the 70s who could wear a bikini without looking odd or too large for it. If I may be so brutally honest, while still looking very dignified in the swimming costume. So, with this preamble, my actual questions revolves around your choice of movie in Satyam Shivam Sundaram. It was a visually stunning film. Both you and Shashika Kapoor in that song, I think it was Chanchal Cheetar Nilmal Koma, which was a dream sequence, were absolutely breathtaking. I don't think I've ever seen a more exquisite couple on screen together. But in light of this more glamorous earlier roles, why did you choose this movie, which has an ultimate theme that focuses on the beauty of the soul, and not the physical form, rather? You were often stereotyped as a siren, yet not quite the vamp like Helen in the Indian cinema of the 70s. So was this an attempt to shake that mantle off? And I ask this question with the greatest of respect. And then I think Varshan has already asked the question, why I consider Satyam Shivam Sundaram to be your magnum opus. Why do you think it took the general media and public and the critics to call it a success and a work of art only well after its release? Thank you.
Thank you very much for all your observations, but that's a lot of questions at the end. Thank you, but thank you so much for your input and your thoughts. Why did I do Satyam Shivam Sundaram? I wanted the opportunity to work with the legendary Raj Kapoor. I was already working with him as an actor, but I did want the opportunity to be directed by him. He was obsessed with the idea of Rupa and his concept of Rupa. And honestly, all the months that we worked on his farm in Loni, the entire farm was plastered with these lifestyle portraits of Rupa. It was very interesting working with him. And to go with his thought process. You never really know when you embark on a film what the final product would be like. So yes, it was the opportunity to work with him that made me want to take the project. And gosh, there were so many questions now. I forget what the next one was. I think there was an issue that they couldn't get around, was that how could the husband make love to his mistress and not realize that she was his wife? So I think most people couldn't get their head around that. So yeah, I think that was part of the reason.
Thank you for the question. Do we have any more? No? Open mic? All right, we have a lady.
Hi, good evening and welcome to South Africa.
She's here.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening. I was born in the 80s and I had a mom and dad that were your fans. So I grew up watching your movies and listening to the songs being whistled in the bathroom by my dad. But as a young woman, I would like to know what advice you would give the younger generation entering the film industry or wanting to go in that direction? Thank you.
Advice for young people entering the business? Number one, it's tough. And within that, number one, it's very competitive. Lots of young people come to the city looking for breaks, looking for auditions, looking to do auditions. It's not easy. And I think that because it's so competitive and it's so tough, I think young people coming there should give themselves a time limit. If it happens within that time limit, good. Otherwise, move on. Really, because you can sit around for years and years and something may happen and something may not happen. Because it's not just about your talent or your physicality or your desire to do great work. It's about the opportunity. And because there are so many people from all over the world, you know, Indian diaspora and people in the city or in the country that want to be part of films, it's not very easy. And I'd just like to clear a myth about star kids as well. Yes, the only advantage that all star kids have is that the door is open for them much easier than it is for other people. But then they have to take the ball and run with it. They've got to prove that they've got what it takes and that audiences want to see them and that they do well in their projects. So it's not easy. And be prepared for the fact that it's not going to be easy. Honestly.
All right, thank you for that. We've now completed the open mic round, all right? So now that open mic round is over, I would like to play a little bit of rapid fire round with Zeenat ji, if you're open for this.
Yes, sure.
All right, so rapid fire round now. My pleasure of doing this with the legendary Zeenat Aman.
I hope it's nothing too cheeky, huh?
I will try to avoid that.
Okay.
So let's start. Your favorite color?
You know, the rust family, sienna, burnt orange. Yeah, autumn colors. I love all the autumn colors.
This next question you've kind of answered throughout the question and answer segment tonight, but we'll go over it again. Which was your best director and why?
No one director.
Pick
no.
two.
Okay, Dev Sahab and Raj Kapoor.
The one thing missing in today's cinema is?
It's, you know, there was a lot of a family atmosphere around filmmaking. People bonded, they were together, and there was a great sense of bonhomie, which doesn't exist now. It's all very cut and dry.
The most handsome co-star you've worked with?
You know, head upwards?
Head upwards, wow.
Shashi Kapoor.
Everything from head downwards was not good?
Well, the total package, Vinod Khanna.
Oh, wow. All right, so Shashi Kapoor, head upwards, head downwards, or everything actually Vinod Khanna. Perfectly answered. Now, which one is sexier? Zeenat Aman in Dam Maro Dam or Zeenat Aman in Leila O Leila?
Oh, in Leila O Leila, for sure. Sexier, yeah. Because in Dam Maro Dam, she was a drugged out hippie, not sexy. Not sexy. But in Leila O Leila, she was sexy.
The strangest rumor you have heard about yourself?
You want the truth, or do you want me to sugarcoat
give us
this?
only the truth.
Once there was a magazine, I understand there's some media people here, but a magazine wrote a 3-page article about an affair of mine with a man I had never met.
This is interesting.
Yeah, it was bizarre.
The one word that describes Sunny Leone doing Leila Me Leila.
Oh, I think Sunny Leone is a very beautiful girl. She has a lot of energy, and I think she did a great job.
Maybe I have one word, please.
One word. Good. Great.
One thing that makes you feel sexy.
You're talking to me today? What makes me feel sexy?
You at any stage of your life, the one thing that
Really?
makes you feel sexy.
Yeah, fragrance. Fragrance is, you know, it can uplift your senses and make you feel very nice.
And your
yeah.
favorite fragrance is?
It varies according to my mood, whether
Okay.
it's sporty or sensual or flowery. I think every girl goes through that, right?
The one thing about women that men need to know.
They're emotional. They're emotional. Be careful.
If you could trade lives with anyone for a day, who would it be and why?
Wow. With anyone for a day? Tough. Very tough. Can't think on my feet about that one.
That's perhaps not someone from the industry, maybe someone in politics.
I was thinking,
a global
somebody like
icon.
Indira Gandhi,
Indira
maybe.
Gandhi, yeah.
Maybe because of the simple reason that she's a 19th November born as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe, yeah.
What challenges you?
Relationships.
If you had the access to a time machine, where and when would you go?
No, I'd stay right where I've been. Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
What food do you crave most often?
Honestly, my go-to food is simple dal chawal sabzi.
When is lying the right thing to do?
When is lying?
Lying the right thing to do.
Well, it's never right, but sometimes if you can prevent somebody from being hurt by not telling the entire truth, you can do that.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
Gosh, why is he doing this? Is this interesting for you?
I asked you if you wanted to go ahead with it.
In 3 words. Inquisitive. No, sexy. I don't see myself
That's
as
what you would
sexy.
say about her. Yes.
Emotional and good person.
Beautiful. Your most embarrassing moment?
Most embarrassing moment. I can't think right now. I think there may have been a few, but I can't think of any right now.
Okay, I'm just going to push you for the last one. A naughty childhood memory that you can share with us.
A naughty childhood memory. Naughty. No, I know that when I was in school, I went to a convent. I went to St. Joseph's Convent in Panchkani. And I know that it was an all-girls school and we were very strict. And the high point of our life when we would get up to have midnight feasts and without being caught by the nuns. And basically, we were very naughty. And because I was very naughty, I was given responsibility. They made me head girl. So I would use my energies in doing the right thing and making other people do the right thing. Yeah.
All right. Zeenat ji has performed superbly for the rapid fire round. Come on, let's give her a huge round of applause. Okay, and well, that's it for our heart-to-heart conversation this afternoon with the legendary, iconic style queen, Zeenat Aman. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to present to you now the grand finale, and we're going to be welcoming back on stage Shashika Mooruth in just a bit. But we also have a very special presentation that we want to go ahead with at this point. So I'm going to call Shirish on stage.
Yeah, we decided to play a game with the audience while I sing. This is a surprise box that is going to be passed around very quickly. We have to try and reach, through the whole song to maximum in the auditorium. And then we'll see what happens. We're not going to tell everything, okay? So try to pass it around without hurting anyone, but let it zoom. And while we sing, yeah. Try to pass it, behind, diagonal. Don't let it just go one by one, yeah. Let it move. And everyone else can clap. Where's the box? Har come on stage. Please bring it in, come on stage. Now you take the box. No, you take the box. No, I don't want the box. No, you take the box. No, no, it wasn't me. It wasn't in my hands. It was in your hands. No, it wasn't. Come on. Quickie, please give her a round of applause. Yes, bring it here. Come here, come here, come here. What's your lovely name?
My name is Kay.
Okay, step aside. Yeah. So now you're going to open the box. Maybe come forward here. You can open the box, yeah? And maybe don't block Zeenat ji. Yes. What do you think is in the box? CDs, heart to heart. Mari biscuit. Typical South African answer. Lucky there's no bunny chow. Okay. Yeah. No bunny chow. Can you just, thanks. Okay, let me help you. Yeah, there's some packing, so there you are. No, don't worry about that. Just open this, and then, yeah. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Right, you can hold it up for everyone to see. And show it to Zeenat. And what's more, you're going to get it autographed by her now, for you, especially for you, with the frame. Here you have a go. Yes.
What is your name?
Contact with her.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, as I was saying earlier on, we have a very special presentation to make to Zeenat ji, who has been so cordial, so kind to us in terms of her time and for being here with us in Durban tonight. And I'm going to call upon the guy who's been behind this project all along and ensuring that all of you have this opportunity of meeting Zeenat Aman here tonight. And this is Mr. Clive Abraham. So can we give him a huge round of applause, please?
Thank you, Varshan. Thank you, Varshan. Good evening, Zeenat ji. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the most humbling moments of my life. On behalf of myself, Scorpion Design, my company, it is my privilege and honor to have to award you with a Lifetime Achievement Award. It is so well deserved. You have been ruling the silver screen for many years, an icon in the Bollywood music industry, in the Bollywood, and outside of South Africa, for you to receive it, outside of India, sorry, for you to receive it here in South Africa, I am proud to award it to you. Also, a bit of coincidence, Scorpio is my star sign, hence Scorpion Design, and it is the Scorpion Design Lifetime Achievement Award, and I do believe you are a Scorpio by that as well. Let's give a round of applause. Can I have the award, please?
You.
Zeenat ji, it is my privilege and honor to award you the Lifetime Achievement Award.